All right, guys. So as you can probably tell, my background's a little bit different. I'm here in LA. I'm actually going to be at a Bob Proctor conference that starts in a couple of days. And since I started my business, I've actually wanted to meet Bob Proctor. He's like one of my big, I guess, like inspirations or people that I follow and listen to a lot, like on repeat all the time. So I'm really, really excited, and I nerded out and got VIP tickets and the whole shebang. So this morning, really funny story. This morning, I got in my Uber and I was like, yeah, going to Pearson Airport, da 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 da. And I get in my Uber and he asked me like, well, where are you going? What are you doing in LA? And so I thought it'd be like way too much to explain Bob Proctor, and he's this 85-year-old man and blah, blah, blah. I didn't think he'd get it. So, I was like, just to like simplify it, because I thought everyone knows the words law of attraction, because it's like the most simple way of explaining it, or like it's usually people's like gateway drug into all this like reality creation, quantum physics, manifestation, all this kind of stuff. So anyway, I was like, I'm going to the law of attraction conference. And he's like, oh, you're a lawyer. And I thought it was so funny because, today I want to talk to you a little bit about comparison. I'm only going to be here for about 5 minutes. I went out for a little late dinner with a friend after. But I want to talk to you about comparison. And here's the thing. There is no, like, especially if you're a coach or you're a personal development influencer or you're a mindset teacher or something like that, as long as there is people who think that you're a lawyer when you say you're going to a law of attraction conference, then we have work to do, and there are still people for you to help. So don't you worry about that. So reason why I'm talking about this is I think a couple days ago, I noticed someone talking about like struggling with comparison on like Instagram or Facebook or something like that. And so I wanted to come on here and address it and give you a way to shift your perspective and just get out of that completely. Because really the comparison mindset is a lack mentality. And wouldn't you prefer to just feel better in your business? Like, wouldn't you feel good to just have better ideas that flowed through you, ideas that maybe came from a divine power, and really just doing what you want to do? Because at the end of the day, you didn't start a business, or you didn't go into following your dreams to follow a cookie cutter strategy or follow what somebody else is doing. You came to do this to be yourself. And so if you get into this game and then you're just looking at what everyone else is doing and saying, oh, like I'm not as good as them, or I have to do that, or I have to do that so I can get to that level, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose. You came into this for freedom, for choice, for pursuing your passion, for pursuing your purpose. And so when you give that away, it just really defeats the whole purpose, and it's not helping you, and it's not helping the people that you want to help. Okay. So first thing I want to talk about is, instead of focusing on comparison, the better thing to focus on is innovation, right? So if you're comparing yourself to someone, you're essentially saying like, I need to look more like them, or be like more like them, or talk more like them, or have products more like them, right? Shift away from that and instead ask yourself, how can I innovate? How can I create something new? So one of the things that I'm always trying to do is create what I wish existed. I am so obsessed with all the mindset tools that I teach, but when I created my own certification, the Yes Apply method, I wanted to bring in my own experience. And also I wanted to make it like the certification that I would want to attend. And that's why like the manuals are beautiful, and you receive pendulums in the mail, and you have your goal setting cards that, integrate like your energy and manifestation, all this stuff, because I wanted to create my own. For me, it's fun. Like I have this vision in my mind of almost like this work of art that I'm creating, and day by day, step by step, bit by bit, it's coming together. People are joining the program, they're learning, they're getting certified, they're getting their own clients, all these things are happening. And it used to just be an idea in my head. And the more you're focusing on what somebody else is doing, the less you're focusing on actually bringing into reality the ideas and the dreams that you have in your head. I see so many people who are like, well, once I do this, then I'll do the thing that I want to do. Or once I do that, then I'll do the thing that I want to do. No, just do the thing that you want to do. Don't think that you have to like cookie cut somebody else to get there. Like there's a reason why you were driven to this point in the first place. So follow that. So first things first, instead of comparing yourself, ask yourself, how can I innovate? And that's actually going to be the thing that will make you more successful, because the most successful businesses, they solve a problem. And so if you're just trying to cut and paste somebody else's strategy, or you're thinking that somebody else is better than you and you have to be more like that, then you're not actually focusing on solving the problem. You shouldn't, like, I'm not saying don't recognize that there's anybody else in your industry. I'm actually friends with a lot of people in my industry and cheer them on and comment on their stuff and all that stuff. And so it's not about, not knowing anyone else exists, but it's really focusing on what should matter the most in your business. And I think what should matter the most in your business isn't if you look better than someone else, or if you have more followers than someone else, or if you're making more money than someone else. It's for the people who you are aiming to serve. Are you helping them solve their problem? So whatever the problem is that you were really desiring to help. So I know actually, one of the things that I'm going to share on my Instagram stories over the next couple of days when I get around to it is when I was on my flight here the other day, when I was on my flight here today, I think I have like flight brain right now. I'm not talking as clearly as I usually do. But when I was on my flight over here, I actually scrolled through all my notes all the way back to 2014 when I was still I think I was still working in my retail job. I actually had a pros and cons list of retail job versus the like tech company job that I moved over to. And I could see my ideas forming of Yes Supply. I could see like little quotes that I was writing down, and they were like so basic, like compared to like, some of the stuff that I talk about now. And it was kind of like cute to go back and be like, OMG, like that was me trying to motivate myself and inspire myself and just create something from the inside out, having no idea and no clue. And it actually took me, I think, about a year after that until I actually started and like put the blog on the internet and like even told someone about it. But I was just like put some notes and some of the things that I was telling myself. And a lot of the things actually still are true today. Like I still would actually follow that advice. And some of the advice was like, oh, Reese, like you were onto something back then. All right. So number 2, focus on the problem, because the problem that I wanted to solve was there was so many people around me who, I could tell that they had a huge potential. I could tell that, they wanted to do so much more. They would say like, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be an artist. I want to do this. I want to do that. And they kept playing small. And I don't know what it was, but there was something inside of me that was like, we need to fix this. We need to help people overcome it. We need to solve this problem. And that was the problem that I intended to solve. So what is the problem that you intend to solve? What is the problem that, when it comes up, it just irks you and you're like, oh my God, I would love to be the person who changes these people's lives who are struggling with that. Because then you're going to be so much more, oh, my phone just died. That sucks. At least it's still on YouTube. Then you're still going to be, and it's funny because my phone is even plugged in, so I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, then you'll be so much more inspired by what you're doing and you'll have so much more energy flowing through you, because the energy is going to come from so much more powerful place. It's going to come from inside rather than you trying to force yourself to not compare yourself to someone else. Okay. So focusing on lack will only create more lack. So focusing on what that person has that you don't will only create more of what you don't. So what you want to look at is, well, what do I have? What gifts do I have? What creativity do I have? What experience do I have? What positivity do I have? What focus, what energy do I have? And focus more on that and solve that problem really, really well. And you will never have to worry about anyone else in your industry at all. You will never have to ever compare, because you'll recognize that you weren't ever competing or comparing in the first place. You were always running your own race, right? You're always running your own race. And that brings me to my third point, which is the fact that you are applying your own meaning to these things. So if you're saying, oh, they're better than me, or they're going to be more successful than me, or whatever it is, the only reason why you're saying that they're better And because you probably still have some limitations deep down in your mind that are telling you that you're not good enough. And so when you look out into the world, you're actually you're only looking at examples that are further proof that that is true, right? Because if you were completely fulfilled and if you were completely like, yep, I got this, and you wouldn't worry about what anyone else is doing and you wouldn't see any of that evidence. You're looking for reasons why you're not good enough. You're looking for reasons why, someone else is better than you, and then you're finding it. So what I encourage you to do is stop looking for it and it's going to be better or whatever. Block all of that out, let all of that go, and just recognize that the only reason why you think that something means something is because you're deciding that it means something. Let go of that meaning, okay? If you see somebody who's successful or you see someone who's doing what you're doing, you should be very happy, because that means it's being drawn into your energy field and you can see it and you can learn from it and you can be it. If you can't see it, then you can't be it. That's why, unfortunately, my Uber driver probably had no idea what a coach was and had no idea what law of attraction was, because he wasn't even in that energy field. He wasn't ready for this level of information yet. That's why me in 2014, when I was writing notes on my phone, but had no idea what I was doing, that's why I didn't know what coaching was, because I wasn't yet in that energy field. I had to do some of my own personal development, and then I got into it, and then I saw other people doing it and I made it my own, right? I created what I wish existed. And then when I saw them, I was like, oh, perfect. There's examples of people who are doing something similar. There must be like people interested in this. There must be people needing this. I know I'm on the right track. For me, it was a signal knowing like, oh my God, I'm on the right track. This is validation. So look at things, and if something isn't feeling good to you, then ask yourself, well, what meaning am I applying to it? And is it self-sabotage? If it's making you feel bad, then it's self-sabotage, and how can you reframe it? If you're seeing examples of other people being successful, doing the types of things that you want to do, then that means that it's actually being drawn closer to you, and you're that much closer to grasping in your hands. People who are successful are proof of what is possible for you. So that's all I have for today. Unfortunately, if you're watching on Instagram, my phone just died, even though it was plugged in, but maybe because it's plugged into my computer. I don't know. Anyway, if you have ever struggled with comparison, let me know below in the comments. And guys, when I say this too, it's not like I've never compared before. Of course, I've struggled with comparison, but these are some of the things that I looked at, recognize that, okay, if I'm just focusing on comparing myself, I'm not actually focusing my energy and intention on the right things. What I should be focusing on is how can I actually improve myself? How can I become a master at what I want to do? And how can I help the people that I really, really, really want to help? And when you focus in on that, it really just becomes a lot of fun. You really get to get back into your creativity. You get to create what you wish existed. And like I said before, with innovation, you might actually create something that has never existed before, and then you'll never have to compete, right? So I love you guys so much. If this spoke to you, if this connected to you, if you're gonna try some of these tips, let me know below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe so you know when I come out with new videos. And I'm gonna be in LA for the next 5 or 6 days. I'm going to be on Instagram sharing my experience at the Art of Goal Setting conference with Bob Proctor, and I'm going to meet Bob Proctor, and I'm so thrilled. So follow me on Instagram to check that out. And just remember to only take yes for an answer, guys. Have a good night.